Hey guys, Kian here, and welcome to your weekly DashGL update. So this week I've made a couple small improvements when it comes to textures, and what I've done basically is I've done a best effort attempt at grabbing the textures and mapping them based on their coordinates in the frame buffer. So this is one of the few textures and model combinations that actually works. If we go to the texture tab, we can see down here that this one, the texture image X and image Y is 384 and 0, or not 384 and 0, the one above that is 320 and 0, and it manages to grab the right texture. And then there's another palette that it grabs, I think the one below this for the scarf, and it grabs the scarf and then it grabs this image and it maps it, and then I think the face is done with this one with 384 and 0. And so magically the image X and Y match up with what the game expects, or maybe the game doesn't swap out those coordinates for the scene, and therefore it seems to work. If we go down and push our luck and try to click on other ones, we're not going to be so lucky. This one, you can kind of see some outlines of something, so it's probably mapping an invisible texture or grabbing the wrong coordinates. When it can't find the texture, I just have it render red. And that seems to happen for a lot of them. And so you get one magical one where life just seems to line up and the right texture is found. But for a lot of cases, the wrong texture is found, the wrong parts of wrong texture is mapped, or just the texture won't be found at all for a lot of these. So I think, yeah, like this, just mismatch. So you kind of get in these nightmare creatures as you go along. I think for some reason the ones at the top of the queue seem to work better. Yeah, like Mega Man, and I think this one should be Barrel and Roll. I think this is for one of the cutscenes at the beginning, and since the game doesn't swap out models too much, that these ones kind of end up working out a little better, probably because the expected texture is there. But the more you click, the more failure you run into. So it's not exactly foolproof. You know, you can get some short hits of dopamine, but it's not there. So I think in the next iteration or the next update, we're gonna start working on a texture mapper. So I think the way I was thinking about the best way to balance this, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave the textures here for showing which textures are in which scene, to be able to go through and look. And maybe I should do a better job of showing the palettes separately. So I think the palettes should have their own file name offset where you can find it, the width, height, image X, image Y, and then maybe I should have the page number for the frame buffer, because the frame buffer splits up to 11 11 images on the top and 11 images on the bottom. So it might be a good idea to have a frame number or something, so you have an idea of where it is relative to the frame buffer. And then for palettes, I should probably add a palette X and Y, so you can kind of know what's going on. Say, hey, for all the textures loaded into the scene, these are all the textures, and you can kind of get an idea of which ones are where by searching through this. And then I think I'll have a side panel over here that says for texture 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on if they exist. Go through, click on it, search for the image, image X and palette, and then give you the options of all the options for all the files in the game that match those. And then you can kind of mix and match and hopefully find the correct one. And hopefully I can do that in a tasteful way that you can still see the model. Or maybe I could, pull out everything and have list here so that you can kind of edit the model and see the model as it's working. And then every time you click, those changes will be saved and remembered so that you don't have to do that again. Once you find the right palette texture combination, I guess it should remember it for that image. And so, yeah, that's what I'm working on. I guess that's what the next couple of updates will be. We'll be mapping out the textures and giving you the option to search through and find the right images and texture and palettes to map, and that will be next week. So in terms of Twitter shoutouts, first shoutout goes to Felix T, who has been doing a bunch of these really cool graphic designs of Mega Man in a bunch of different styles, like the Pokemon logo, Coca-Cola logo, Mega Man Blue. This one just came out. This one looks super cute. Super Fighting Robot Mega Man. I like the style. I like all the graphic design for all these. So first shout out goes to Felix T. Just amazing work on all these. These are fantastic. Next shout out goes to Blue Metal, who I guess just got the world record in in-game time 100% emulated by 1 second. So this is on Twitch. I'll provide the link. You can get watch a speedrun of Mega Man Legends. And then next shout out goes to Xbuster6, who's been posting a bunch of stuff on hacks with Mega Man Legends, texture swaps, just kind of crazy stuff of swapping out and just seeing what's possible with the game. Massive roll, black Mega Man, white roll, evil possessed roll. I don't know, just lots of cool stuff. It's always great to see him mess around with the game and see what can be done. So a shout out goes to Xbuster6 this week. And this week's project highlight goes to Program Answer. This is, I guess, the complete remake of Simon's Quest, and it's done with an amazing pixel art style. It looks amazing. It copies the concepts of the first NES games, but it just does them like overkill on graphics. It looks amazing. I think the closest fair comparison would be to kind of Shovel Knight, but it just kind of takes the Simon's Quest NES style and just blows it up to 11, just cranks it up to 11. So this is a really cool project that I've been following on Twitter, and that's this week's project shout out. So hopefully a little bit of a shorter episode this week, but just mostly the next thing is going to be trying to map these textures without losing too much sanity. And I guess I will see you guys next week.